Thanks for joining us. I'm Leanie Lambrink. A Yellowknife healthcare worker is getting ready to leave the Northwest Territories. She's been told by medical professionals that moving south is the best option for her own care. Her medical needs stem from a range of conditions, many of them rare. Sarah St. Pierre has more.
I mean, you have a smorgasbord of things, but essentially my pump, my formula, and then all of this runs into an extension.
Lauren Seabrook grew up in Yellowknife dealing with chronic illness, but her feeding tube is a new development from February. Since then, she says it's not the tube that's been the hardest to deal with, but the system itself. She feels caught in a gap. There's a follow-up program in Alberta that would give her a round-the-clock point of contact for questions and problems, but she's been told she can't access it because she doesn't live there. So she's mostly had to rely on the ER in Yellowknife, where staff aren't trained for her tube.
Every day, all I do is talk about it, and it's a part of me for sure. It's literally a part of me, but there is a lot more to my life than this tube. But unfortunately, the system and having to plan everything myself and advocate so hard for myself has taken away my life outside of this tube.
She says medical professionals in both Alberta and the NWT have urged her to consider moving south so she can have access to everything Alberta residents do. CBC News has seen a letter from her family doctor. It confirms that right now there are no services or healthcare programs to provide her the care and assistance she needs. NWT Health Minister Lisa Semler declined an interview. In a written statement from the Deputy Territorial Medical Director, Dr. Catherine Kessler said NWT residents with feeding tubes have access to the same supports as those provided by Alberta programs. These services are provided by a combination of NWT healthcare professionals, including dietitians, with ongoing case management by specialized physician services based in Alberta. Seabrook says that hasn't been her experience, and she sees others falling through the cracks. She's an occupational therapist and works with children who also have feeding tubes.
It's not too late to change the system so that it doesn't happen to someone else, because I think that, you know, being told you have a tube, you're too complex, you have to leave your home. I can't imagine saying that to any of my patients. I can't imagine being told that because you're different, you can't live where your family is, where your support is. And so it breaks my heart.
Seabrook plans to move early this summer so she can wrap up appointments with her patients. Her family intends to follow her south to Alberta. Sarah St. Pierre, CBC News, Yellowknife.
Seabrook's MLA is Range Lake MLA Kieran Testart. CBC reporter Sarah St. Pierre talked to him about the situation too. Here's what he had to say.
I think it's heartbreaking that our healthcare system is basically giving up on someone and saying your problems are too acute. You're going to have to stop living in the place you've called home for 30 years, where your parents live, where your family lives, and go somewhere else. And I should point out too that Lauren is a healthcare professional. So not only does she have to leave her home, but she's also taking with her all that experience and support we need as Northerners to fix our failing healthcare system. Usually there's a service gap that's available elsewhere, and it's just difficult marrying it up. But I've never seen a case where they basically said you can't get the care, and when someone goes and find it themselves, the other province says, no, we can't help you. So Lauren is caught in a gap between two healthcare systems, and for some reason the only option is that she has to move and leave the territory, and that's unacceptable.
Do you think there's something that could be done to avoid situations?
Of course, yeah, of course there's something that can be done. The minister can intervene and bring the resources to bear. I mean, we have a public administrator, so she can give instructions to the public administrator to take a look at this. But, you know, I don't understand why we can't make accommodations for this case. The whole point of having, a department or a minister that can, or a public administrator that can intervene and look at things is when exceptions need to be made. You know, no system can accommodate accommodate everyone's complex needs, especially when it comes to healthcare. So we need to have flexibility built in. And the fact that there's no flexibility, and I've seen that a lot, and instead of finding the flexibility, we're just told by the minister, nope, we're not budging. And that's, again, not what Northerners need right now. We need a healthcare system that meets them where they're at and takes care of their needs, and certainly doesn't force them to leave the place they've called home for decades.
Seabrook has also reached out to Health Minister Lisa Semler. She says she's communicating with the minister's office and has offered to talk with Semler, and she's waiting to hear back. In Nunavut, plans are moving forward for a new health center in Qikiqtarjuaq. The current facility opened in 1972 and is now one of the oldest in Nunavut. According to Health Program Supervisor Elizabeth Ogunduwasi, a new center is long overdue. She says the current facility no longer meets the needs of the growing community, with limited space and not enough room to accommodate more nurses.
There's no space for storage, we don't have enough clinic rooms, and that impacts the health services that we can provide. For example, we'd like to be able to have visiting specialists coming to Kik.
Ogunduwasi says the new health center is expected to include more clinic rooms, dedicated spaces for mental health and home care, and a larger waiting area. Materials are set to begin arriving by sea lift this summer. Construction is expected to be complete by 2028. Health authorities worldwide are working to prevent the further spread of Hantavirus. They are now contacting passengers who disembarked from the Dutch cruise ship that reported an outbreak. The World Health Organization stresses the risk to the public is low. Chris Brown has the latest from London.
With a global hunt underway to track the movements of anyone who might have been exposed to hantavirus on the Hondias cruise ship, the World Health Organization is underscoring the risk to public health is low.
I want to be unequivocal here. This is not SARS-CoV-2. This is not the start of a COVID pandemic. This is an outbreak that we see on a ship.
But this strain of hantavirus, typically found in South America, can be passed between people who have close contact. So there's concern where the ship is expected to dock on Sunday in Tenerife on the Canary Islands. The strain also has a long incubation period, up to 6 weeks.
It's possible that more cases may be reported.
The voyage began in Argentina and headed northwards. Authorities believe a Dutch couple on board had visited areas in South America where the virus might have been present in rats. One of them died on the ship, the other in South Africa, and a German woman also died on board. The WHO helped evacuate 3 people when the ship stopped off Cape Verde and airlifted them to the Netherlands. British expedition guide Martin Anstey is among 5 other people confirmed or suspected of being infected. 4 Canadians remain on the ship. We now know 2 others got off on the island of St. Helena and flew home before the full extent of the outbreak was known. They've been told to self-isolate, as has another Canadian who was not on the ship but was on the same flight.
I've been in touch with my counterparts in the Netherlands, in the UK, and in Spain this morning so that we are staying coordinated.
As for the 100 or so people still on board, authorities say they're in good health, although some are stressed as they remain quarantined in their cabins. Thankfully, everyone is doing well and we're healthy, said this Turkish passenger. The tracing efforts now being undertaken by at least 12 countries are focused on anyone who might have sat next to a potentially infected person on a flight or had a cabin near them on the ship. Chris Brown, CBC News, London.
Health authorities here are keeping a close eye on the 3 citizens Chris mentioned who are linked to the ship and now back in Canada. Philip Lee Shanik reports on where they are and on what's being done in this country to make sure the virus doesn't spread.
There are few cruise ships like it, with ice-hardened hulls able to take adventurous tourists to places in the Antarctic that other ships cannot. but some of the ship's 120 passengers could not be protected from a deadly virus that somehow got on board. 2 of them now in Canada after disembarking on April 24th before the outbreak was detected and flew home.
The 2 individuals are in fact Ontario residents, and they are actively being monitored and working with the local public health authorities.
Ontario's health minister added that an unnamed public health unit is conducting contact tracing and monitoring.
At this point, it is believed that they are not in any way a risk of transmission, but it is fluid.
A 3rd Canadian who is not aboard the ship but may have come into contact with an asymptomatic individual is in isolation in Quebec and being monitored by health authorities in an unidentified location. All 3 are asymptomatic. The dangerous Hantavirus is endemic to South America, primarily Argentina and Chile. Fatality rates are up to 50%. Researchers say while it can spread through close contact, this is not a highly contagious influenza-like virus like COVID.
We really only see person-to-person transmission in tight quarters and close spaces for prolonged periods of time, and usually with ill or quite ill individuals, and not in cases where people are asymptomatic.
Symptoms include fever, muscle fatigue, diarrhea, and vomiting. 4 Canadians remain on the ship.
I have deployed consular officials who are currently en route to Tenerife, and the consular support will be in place.
All the remaining passengers aboard are quarantined to their cabins, sheltering from a virus that has already killed 3 and sparked a global health scare. Philip Lishanok, CBC News, Toronto.
The organization representing Inuit in Nunavut has been hit with a cyber attack. It happened 3 months ago, but a public notification was only sent out this week. Makivik says personal information about employees and members is likely impacted, but it doesn't believe the information is actually being misused. The incident happened in early February. Makivik says it took immediate action, including hiring cybersecurity experts. This public notification was sent out yesterday. Makivik says it doesn't have valid contact information for some of the affected individuals.
It was very difficult to handle when it first happened, and those hackers got really close. They were demanding money. We worked closely with the cybersecurity team and lawyers to deal with the situation.
Makivik is asking people to review their bank accounts and report any suspicious activity. In December, a Nunavut health center also had a data breach because of a cyber attack. There's another delay in a historical sexual assault case in Iqaluit today. The accused is facing both youth and adult criminal charges. While identity protections are standard in youth court, a publication ban was also placed on the accused's adult charges. The Crown and CBC are challenging that. Justice Christian Lyons acknowledged today there are issues with the orders that established the ban. The matter is scheduled to return to court on May 28. Shipping country food across Nunavut can cost families hundreds of dollars. Sometimes the food arrives spoiled before it can be eaten. Hunters and researchers say food sharing challenges can affect both food security and cultural traditions. Tharsha Ravi Chakravarthi has more.
For generations, Inuit communities have shared country food across families and regions. Today, getting caribou, seal, or other harvested food from one community to another often depends on air cargo systems, and those systems don't always work smoothly. Katrin Schmid is an anthropology PhD candidate who spoke with various Inuit communities to research food systems and transportation in Nunavut. Schmid says when it comes to shipping, country food isn't prioritized in the same way as food imported from the south, and that is in part due to the larger volume that comes from the south.
As a result, the food that's actually from Nunavut being harvested by Nunavummiut is laying in these areas outside of the airport or maybe on the runway. In the summer, there are animals that get to them. In the winter, sometimes they freeze. So badly that they can't be eaten or they get lost. And so a lot of the spoilage that we're seeing is actually of country food.
She says spoilage often happens during transport, especially when freezer infrastructure fails or country food is left waiting for flights. Jimmy Makivik chairs the Amaruq Hunters and Trappers Association. He says delays and costly shipping pose challenges to sharing country food.
For us, Amaruq Hunters and Trappers, we have received cargo and it's smelly, stinky, as if it was kept maybe in the cooler, not the freezer. And we've had to dispose of some caribou meat in the past. Not a whole lot, but it happens.
Makivik says the best solution is to source locally, and hunters are now pushing for changes, including revisiting caribou hunting restrictions and improving cargo systems for country food transportation. He says a caribou committee plans to meet in the near future to talk about caribou access and address its recommendations with the government. For CBC News, I'm Darsha Ravi Chakravarti.
A massive ice jam on the Athabasca River in northern Alberta has started melting now, but at one point last week, it was 25 kilometers long and triggering evacuation alerts because of flooding. The CBC's Jamie Malbuff looks at why one idea for clearing clogged rivers isn't necessarily a good one.
This year, Fort McMurray faced yet another ice jam. Residents were stuck waiting to see if their homes and businesses would flood. And it left people asking, why doesn't the government bomb the ice?
In Ottawa, the city uses explosives to avoid ice jams in the Rideau River. They place explosives under the ice where machinery isn't an option.
So if you have a large river, the whole river is jammed, it doesn't really help to blast, say, in the middle of that ice jam because the ice that you're blasting has nowhere to go.
And there are other complications.
This is 25 kilometers long, so you'd have to break a big section of river to reduce the flood risk. Yeah. And we have really, really thick ice. It's also very dangerous to do explosives, and there's really specific ways you have to put explosives under ice jams to break them up.
The other thing is it's also can impact fish and aquatic life underneath the ice cover.
Historically, there have been limited aerial bombings of ice jams. A former Army historian says he's only found a few incidents where bombs were dropped, with the last one in 1951 in Medicine Hat. None of them with success.
You bomb one spot, ice fills in, fills it up again. It's very, very difficult to go and control how and when they would explode. Because you might hit a patch of very hard ice with the bomb, or you might hit a soft spot, which is probably why, for instance, that Medicine Hat, some of the bombs didn't explode.
That meant there had to be recovery efforts to find the undetonated explosives.
I think maybe in this situation here, it's the negatives outweigh the positive.
This is something that has been suggested many times in recent years, but it's not considered a safe or effective method. Instead, the focus has been on flood mitigation, monitoring the river during freeze-up and breakup, and staying connected with local emergency managers. The Department of Defense also says they haven't received any requests to bomb an ice jam in 50 years. And even if there were a request, they'd be unlikely to do it, as modern weapons are too powerful for it to be safe. They noted it would also ruin fishing season.
So for now, the river will have to let go of ice jams all on its own. Jamie Malbuff, CBC News, Fort McMurray.
In the Yukon, the Klondike River is flooding the neighborhood of Henderson Corner outside of Dawson City. Several residences are evacuated. Water is covering some properties, including this one, with vehicles and buildings partially submerged. The entire area from Henderson Corner to Rock Creek is under an evacuation alert. That area includes the long-term parking lot at the nearby Dawson City Airport. Officials say electricity has been cut to around 20 properties for safety reasons. As ice in the Klondike River melts, it's moving downstreams, jamming and causing the river to flood its banks. The Klondike River joins the Yukon River shortly downstream from this neighborhood. Ice on the Yukon River is also on the move. The Yukon government put out a flood watch today for the Yukon River in front of Dawson City. There are flood advisories in place for the Porcupine River near Old Crow, the Nordenskjold River near Carmacks, and the Pelly River near Ross River. So far, this river, the Klondike, is the only one under the highest advisory, a flood warning. Yukon's Minister of Environment says his government has no plans to introduce species at risk legislation. The territory first pledged to enact this kind of policy 30 years ago. Tori Fitzpatrick has more.
Wade says the Yukon doesn't need its own legislation.
It's not a priority for us because we do so much work when it comes to fish and wildlife with the federal government. The federal government does have species at risk legislation, and we work with them hand in hand. We work with our co-partners.
Federal legislation protects aquatic species, migratory birds, and species on federal lands. It applies to 8% of the Yukon's land base. This NDP MLA recently asked the government about Yukon-specific legislation. She says a 2024 study showed the Yukon is behind other jurisdictions in many areas.
Identifying and assessing species, designating them, protecting the species, protecting the habitat. Yukon didn't have protections in any legislation for most of those things.
The Yukon's Wildlife Act applies to 5% of species in the territory, notably excluding all fish, plants, fungi, and invertebrates. A wildlife analyst says the territory lacks habitat protection for key species, including some caribou herds. He says governments sometimes see legislation meant to protect habitat as a nuisance.
Many governments view habitat protection as getting in the way of mineral exploration and development.
The federal government recently announced over $5.2 million for habitat stewardship initiatives. Ishenko says the territory intends to use some of that to protect species at risk. Tori Fitzpatrick, CBC News, Whitehorse.
The 28th annual Run for Mom is set to take place on Mother's Day this Sunday in Whitehorse. The run raises money for breast cancer care in the Yukon. Over the years, it supported mammography and ultrasound machines. This year's race is raising money to buy a mobile mammography unit to take testing across the territory.
About 20 years ago, there was a small group of us who were really interested in the idea of a mobile unit that would go around to the rural communities and make it easier for women to come in and have their tests done in their home community. There wasn't a lot of appetite for it at the time. It was pretty new to the world, and so we just dropped it. And over the past few months, we sort of resurrected the idea about, gosh, wouldn't this be a great legacy project for Run for Mom to work towards having a mobile unit available for Yukoners?
The Anglican Church of the Ascension in Inuvik, Northwest Territories, is back open after being closed for 5 years. Weekly prayer services and some community programming is back on. The church's lay minister is encouraging people to come by and visit. The CBC's Des Loreen went to check it out.
So it was September 23rd, 1973.
Oh, yeah, I see that.
Said Dennis Allen.
The Anglican Church of the Ascension in Inuvik has reopened its doors after 5 years. For some, the time away has been much longer. Dennis Allen is helping the church with its reopening. He says the church always played a big role in his childhood.
And they used to have rummage sales and bake sales, and my mom was involved with it. It was called the WA, the Women's Association. So the church was like a center of the community when I was a kid, and that's what I remember.
We've been doing worship out of these, but we're hoping to add some of the new
new songs,
yeah.
The lay minister says she's excited to have people back in the space and start filling it with family nights, support groups, and other services Inuvik may need.
And I think we've been seeing that as we've been opening the doors, people reconnecting, that haven't been in many years, or maybe have that childhood experience growing up in church, or are just wanting to experience church for the first time.
The church is already running a youth Bible camp this week for kids between the ages of 5 and 11. Knight plans to see what the community wants for the space and to help plan for its future. Des Loreen, CBC News, Inuvik.
The Montreal Canadiens have made it to the second round of the playoffs, and Nunavut are rallying together to cheer for the Canadian team. People packed the Iqaluit Storehouse Bar to watch the Habs play against the Buffalo Sabres last night. Habs fans, new and old, showed up hoping for an early series lead.
It's really difficult sometimes knowing what's going to happen, but hopefully that they will win.
I was a Canucks fan. They're not doing well. But because most people up here are Habs fans, so when I came up here 3 years ago and started coming to the bar, they turned me. But you know what? It's much nicer to cheer for a team that's winning.
The first round was very tight, and I had chest pains and everything. So.
And so, what made you stick with them for so many years?
My dad was always a Toronto fan, and I had to be opposite, so I needed to be a Habs fan. Yeah.
The Habs didn't win last night, but the series will continue. Their next game is tomorrow night. Now, the weather. That is Northbeat for tonight. For news anytime, head to cbc.ca/north. Thanks for watching. I'm Leanie Lambrink. Have a good night.